Hello again, and welcome to the second development blog for Guardian's Guide. In today's video, we'll be showcasing the home screen. Keep in mind, this game is a work in progress, so everything you see can or will be subject to change. Okay, so this is Guardian's Guide home screen. This is generally where you will end up, say if you went to a shop or went to a job, you will come back to this screen. This is the default screen of where most of her general information about her growing stats will be. For the moment, we are just looking at the home screen. Don't worry about any of these other menu options at the top. We'll cover them at a later date. So I want to start with discussing this screen here. There's a lot of information on this screen, and I want to go through each one so you can get a good understanding of the type of game this actually is and what you can expect from it when it comes out sometime much later. Starting here at the top with date and season. The seasons and dates in this game goes by weeks instead of days. I know normally in this type of game it will go by days, but I figured going by weeks would be easier to manage. And it is. The way I set it up is pretty easy to manage, and it's easy to understand. Essentially, there are 12 months in a year, and there are 4 weeks per month. So that means there's a total of 48 weeks in a year. Now, each month is represented by a season, sort of a part of a season. So, for instance, the month of January will be represented by midwinter, which is right here. Normally it'd be week 1 through 4 would be midwinter. What would be represented by February is late winter. And following that, which will be represented by March, would be early spring. So it kind of goes like that through winter, spring, summer, and fall. And you go through a whole year, and each time you go through a certain amount of months, it would change the season right here. Next we have name and guardian. This is you, this is her. You can set both your first and last name, and you will set her first name because she just takes your last name. After that we have mood. Now for mood, what do I have here? For mood, this changes based upon a few things in the game. For instance, it may change based upon the food she eats, or maybe something that's said to her, or something you might say to her. Or it may change based on some event that happens, or she could just wake up feeling really terrible or feeling really happy. Now, the mood and condition directly affects job conditions. It affects the way the turnout of the job, how well you do, and ultimately how much money you get paid. So we'll go more over that a little bit later. Next, we have the denomination for money. I call it note in this game. You get money by doing jobs, doing quests. You can sell things you find while exploring, or you might just get it randomly. Who knows? Next here we have age. The age range in this game goes from 11 years old to 18. So it'll be a total of 7 years, not including the actual 18th year. If you look over here, you can see her 11-year-old illustration. Yeah, there are 18 each year it changes. She gets a little taller, a little older. So there will be 18, and by the time she reaches 18, this will unlock the ability to get more based upon different parameters that I won't explain today. But just know there will be a lot of illustrations because a big part of the reason I started this type of game is because I wanted to have this variety of different outcomes with her. So I specifically designed her so there would be a lot of variety. So I kind of designed her in a plain sort of way, sort of plain hair length, plain clothes, plain expression, but that was intentional. Okay, next we have condition. Now, as I mentioned with mood, both mood and condition ultimately affects job, but condition is more special than mood because the condition determines even if she will work or she will explore or pretty much do anything for the week you happen to be in. If the condition happens to be too bad, like in the lower 30% or lower, she's just straight up sick. So you won't be able to do anything in that week. You'll just have to come here and click in week or just feed her something helpful to make her feel better. Condition ranges from 99%, it's the max it can go, to about 1%. The mid would probably be around 55%, but yeah, ideally you want to keep this as high as you can. So things that affect condition actually are going to jobs, exploring, just it'll be a bunch of random things, but it'll be a control. You'll be able to control it. It won't be to a point where some random things happen and it ruins your condition. You had no control over it. I want to give you the most control in this game. I want your decisions to be the biggest determining factor in how she functions on her week by week basis. So next we have stamina. Now stamina directly affects exploration. And it affects jobs. So stamina affects jobs and exploration. Each week when you do a job, it takes about half of your stamina, and with the rest of the stamina, you can use that for exploration. Now, granted, after doing this script and reading it back to myself, I realized that this kind of sounds like a gacha game when you have this limited stamina and you have to wait 24 hours in the real world to be able to play again. But no, this is not the case. This is not that kind of stamina. This is an actual game, the actual PC game. When you pay for it once, you get the whole experience. Stamina, it's not fixed. It's malleable. Granted, when it runs out, you do have to in your week in order to refill it again. But it is not a case of you have to go and buy real in gold money in order to refill your stamina. This is not that kind of game. This is an actual game. This is just a mechanic in the game, and believe me, the way I implemented it, it will actually be fun and not like a waste on you. Okay, next we have height, weight, bust, waist, and hip. Now, with these are kind of just typical numbers that grow up as she gets older. If you're familiar with the Princess Maker game, all of this was roughly in there. I was considering, I am right now considering having all of these numbers visually affect her to some degree. It'll be minimum, but for instance, say like if she eats a cake and she gains a little bit more weight, I can have it like visually showing her around this area, and so on and so forth for the rest of these numbers. I'm considering doing that. I'll have to see how it looks, but yeah, these numbers are kind of fixed as they go up when she gets older. But depending on what you feed her, depending on the things she might do exploring or doing her job or whatever, these numbers might slightly change. But it won't be like huge and very noticeable, because that'd be kind of difficult to actually manage with these fixed illustrations here. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. I kind of want to experiment to see just what I can get away with without it looking too silly. Okay, moving on here to upcoming events. Now, upcoming events are things that happen throughout the year. They're events that happen continuously each year. So, for instance, here you have Revere. It's a time of holy worship. It's essentially just a time where the church collects taxes from people. Or here you have Spring Break. If you go down a little bit, this is actually a time where all the shops are closed. That's the big thing about spring break. It's also a time where you can go to the beach and stuff. Just another little event you can participate in or not. Here you have Gold Week, which happens directly after spring break. It's actually a time where businesses discount their stuff. So you probably want to look out for this because you'll get a lot of good stuff for cheap here. So you want to plan your week, your year as time goes on for these type of events. And I actually want to point out here, you can set her birthday. Her birthday, she doesn't know her birthday because she's an orphan. She's been an orphan most of her life. So you can set her birthday, and it doesn't matter when you set it. You can set it week 1, you can set it week 22. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that the gifts you give her on her birthday, which you can give her anything you want, or she can ask you like, hey, my birthday's coming up. Can you give me this? But regardless of what you give her, it has an increased effect. So another thing you just want to look out, just be strategical when you do these things. You're like, okay, I want the birthday to be later in the year so I can get a little more money and I can prepare to get something really nice and have a nice increased effect when that happens. Or, you can set it early, just get it out of the way. Who knows? Maybe somebody else might give her a gift, saving you money, depending on the relationships you make in the game. You never know. It's all up to you. Just however the game flow, just plan it as the best you can. Okay. Next, I want to talk about resident interaction here. Now, this is the area where you can directly communicate with your daughter. It's random, really. It depends on an event that might have happened recently, or maybe someone might have said something to her, or maybe you might have said something to her, or maybe she just wants to ask a question, or maybe you want to ask a question. Maybe she did something without your approval, and you want to be like, hey, well, what's going on here? Why'd you do this? You can discipline her. You can praise her here. Many things are planned to happen in this one area here. This is also where you interact with people who happen to visit your home. So you might have maybe some guy from a job visiting your home, and they just want to maybe talk with her, or maybe want to talk with you about how the job's been going. Yeah, a lot of things can happen in here, but this is kind of the most direct way of interacting with her and the people in the town. You can also do that during exploring, but we'll discuss that at a later date. But right here, I have a working example of how this works out. It's pretty straightforward. You come here, you click on it, and a dialogue happens here. Don't worry about that. That's just a temporary name. But she says, "I just love strawberry cake. Can you buy me some next time?" Given the option, you can promise to buy her a strawberry cake. You can say okay, or you can say no. Now, if you click okay, she says, "Yay, you're the best." Now, if you notice over here, her mood changed. She went from normal to excited. Now, other things can happen with this. Other events can set off other triggers. But normally, after you do this, this will change, or maybe get a block out, or you won't be able to do anything after this. But in this case, this is just an example. It goes back again, and you can click it again. Let's see what happens if we say no. Again, I just love strawberry cakes. Can you buy me some next time? This time, no. Yeah, why not? Why are you being so mean to me? She's sad. I've made her sad. And if you come over here, she's now sad. Now, granted, I kind of want this to reflect over here as well, but that'll be a lot of work considering how many models I have planned. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll probably think of something. But that is it, actually. That's all I wanted to show you today. This is the bulk of the home screen. I don't really plan to add anything else, but we'll see. I'm always thinking of new ideas I can implement into this. But, oh yeah, before I forget, this is the end week button. Essentially, when you don't have any more required things to do, or you're just done with this week, just click end week, and it'll do its continuous cycle and start the new week. Some type of event will happen here, and some things will happen that I'm not going to discuss right now. And the new week will start. But that's it. That's the home screen. I hope you're excited for it, because I'm really excited. I'm very excited that I finally get to show this to you guys. Well, that concludes this video update, but if you would like more information about the game, please visit Allujic.com. I also have a companion blog for this video update. You can find both those links in the description. If you would like to support the development of this game and get weekly updates of its progress, please consider becoming a member at Allujic.com/support. Please comment, share, or like this video, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the game. These development videos are released monthly, and I plan to start making more videos regularly in the future. So until the next video, stay well, my friends.